Hello, everyone. You're listening to episode 2 of Financial Action Stories. Today, you're going to meet Ebony, a 37-year-old nurse practitioner from Manville, Texas. We're going to discuss how she's planning to save enough for retirement, the best things she thinks she's done with her money so far, and the one thing she wishes she did differently. So, Ebony, let's start with a forward-looking question. What does your dream retirement look like?
Well, to be honest, I haven't really thought a lot about the specifics, like where I would want to live. I doubt I'll be retiring early, though. After using my emergency savings to pay down some high-interest debt, now I just have one student loan in my car. One of my biggest short-term financial goals is to build that fund back up. I'd also like to get more into investing and, if possible, maybe purchase a property.
That's great. Would you say you're on track to make that dream come true?
I work with one financial professional, the advisor who handles my whole life insurance policy, and that person seems to think I'm doing well enough, but I'm honestly not sure. I have concerns about how much things are going to cost once I retire. I don't feel like it's looking good. Besides my whole life policy, I have an employer-based 401k and a former 401k that was converted into an IRA.
So when you think about the steps you've taken so far, how much, if at all, did advice from other people factor into your decisions?
Well, I meet with my advisor every 6 to 8 weeks. When I see that balance, I know it's a substantial amount, but I'm just not sure how much I'm supposed to have. I feel like at this point in my career, with the salary I make, I should talk to someone, but financial things are overwhelming for me. I always feel like I could be better at managing my money. At the same time, I want to enjoy the money I make. It's a tough balance, though, honestly. I do know that my dad always told me that whatever I do, try to avoid withdrawing money from my retirement account early. I know the penalties are insane. It's maybe not the most in-depth advice, but it is on par with the limited research I've done about retirement accounts.
No, definitely true. What smart money moves do you think you've made? What would you change if you could?
The smartest move I've made was to set up an automatic savings where I was pulling money from my checking account into a savings account regularly. I built up a decent savings by doing that, which I used to pay down some of my debt. What I should have done differently was to make that money harder to access. I now have a primary bank account and a discretionary savings account, then a more difficult to access high yield credit union savings account. That's my emergency savings. I should have done that earlier, made it more difficult to access my money, and invested in a high yield account.
So research shows that people are living longer. Have you factored that into your plans at all?
It's a little daunting, especially since I'm still undecided about a lot of things. I'm not sure if I want to have children or even buy a house. I do have other family, but in terms of taking care of me when I'm older, it's really not their financial responsibility. My whole life insurance policy does have a rider for long-term care, should I need it, so I've looked into things like that.
Ebony, thank you for sharing your story and perspective with us today. Folks, episode 3 of Financial Action Stories is coming up, so come back to see us soon.